Hey guys, this is lesson 27, and like with the other one, just make sure whenever you have a naming question to always look for the chiral center. So we're going to start by drawing our 4-carbon chain, and then we're going to add our sulfur to the 2 position. Add our hydrogens and hit arrange. And it says S in the question, so I'm going to look for the chiral center. I see it over here. So I have sulfur as my highest priority, the ethyl as my second, and methyl as my third. It's going right there to the right. So it's R conformation. So all I gotta do is go to my controls and press mirror. And now I have my highest priority on the top, ethyl over here, and methyl. It's going counterclockwise. So it's good to go now. Okay, start by drawing pentane, our 5-carbon chain. Add a sulfur to the 2 position. Add our hydrogens. And now we check for that chiral center. Usually it's going to be where the sulfur is attached. So I've got my highest priority, second, third. It's going counterclockwise, so it's good to go. Okay, find your longest carbon chain, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have butane, and then we're going to do a -1 for the thiol. And then we're going to come back to the front and add our methyl that's at the 2 position. 2 methyl. And lastly, we need to check for a chiral center. And I see that this carbon doesn't have any duplicates because it has a methyl, an ethyl, and then this molecule with a sulfur. So this is going to be our highest priority. This one second, and third. It's going counterclockwise. So we can go ahead and put our S in parentheses for S conformation. And we want to leave the E in the name, like butane, propane, hexane. Usually we were taking out, like for the alcohols, we take out the E, but we don't have to for this lesson. Okay, let's draw our 3-carbon chain. I have a methyl at the 2 position, so I'll go ahead and add that. And I'll add my sulfur to the 1st position. Add my hydrogens and hit arrange. It doesn't indicate there's any chiral center, so I can just go ahead and submit. Okay, pentane, 5-carbon chain, and a thiol at the 1 position. Add my hydrogens and hit arrange. And there's no chiral center indicated, so good to go. Just make sure I have the right amount of carbons, which I do. Propane, 3 carbons, and a thiol at the 2 position. Add my hydrogens. Again, no indication there's a chiral center, so I can just submit it. The drawing ones are pretty easy and straightforward. It's the naming ones that you have to really make sure that there's no chiral center. Okay, so this is methane. And I can just add my thiol because there's no need to indicate where it's at because there's only 1 carbon. So methane thiol. And obviously there's no chiral center on this one either. Okay, longest carbon chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have pentane, and then I have a thiol at the 2 position. And lastly, I'm going to check for a chiral center. I'm going to look where that sulfur is attached, and I see this is my chiral center because there's a methyl, a propyl, and the sulfur attached, as well as the hydrogen. So this is going to be my first priority. Second, third, it's going right there to the right. So I'll go ahead and put R in parentheses for R conformation. And that should be good to go. And this homework is definitely a nice break from the mechanisms we've been doing. Butane for carbon chain and a thiol at the 1 position. 1, 2, 3, 4. No indication there's a chiral center, so I can just submit without worry. Pentane 5 carbon chain, and I have a sulfur at the 3 position. Add my hydrogens, and again it's a drawing one, no indication there's a conformation, so good to go. Okay, and then lastly, I just wanted to mention, if you get one that's with the ethane thiol, you don't have to add a number, so just write it as is, ethane thiol, just like we did the methane thiol. I added the number the first time, and you don't need to do that. So yeah, all you gotta make sure is to check on those chiral centers with the naming, but the drawing should be pretty straightforward. So yeah, good luck.